Hallux valgus is one of the most common foot conditions seen in clinic and is characterized by the progressive deviation of the big toe towards the other toes, resulting in a deformity that affects both appearance and function. As a result, many patients seek advice due to pain, difficulty walking, or problems with footwear. But there is a key aspect that is often overlooked. It is not just a structural problem, but also a muscular one. And this is where the abductor hallucis comes into play. An intrinsic muscle whose function is to keep the big toe aligned and to stabilize the first metatarsal. When it functions properly, the foot maintains good mechanics and distributes loads more effectively. But when it loses strength or coordination, the toe deviates, weight bearing is altered, and overloads, pain and instability occur. That is why strengthening it is fundamental to treatment. Now then, not all exercises activate it in the same way. The toe spread out aims to separate the toes and improve motor control, although it is usually difficult at first. The short foot exercise works more generally on foot stability, but it does not always prioritize this muscle, and big toe flexions tend to involve more extrinsic muscles, creating a full sense of specific work. So the key question is, which one really activates the abductor hallucis effectively? And here, electromyography gives us the answer, as when comparing different exercises, it is observed that not all generate the same stimulus, with forefoot adduction being the exercise with the greatest activation. It also improves the muscle's ability to contract, which indicates that it not only activates more, but also helps to build strength. And it has another important advantage. It is more accessible for patients with pain or advanced deformities because it requires less mobility and reduces compensations, allowing the focus to be on controlling the first metatarsal with less complexity and greater efficiency. That is why it can be used as the basis of treatment, especially in the early stages, with other complementary exercises introduced afterwards. But this is where many approaches fall short. Exercises are prescribed without checking whether the muscle is actually being activated, as performing an exercise correctly does not guarantee that you're working the right muscle. And this is where electromyography allows us to objectively determine whether the abductor hallucis is being activated, how much it is activated, and how it evolves, eliminating trial and error and enabling precise adjustment of the treatment. Ultimately, hallux valgus is not just a structural deformity, but also a functional alteration in which this muscle plays a key role, and the evidence points to forefoot adduction as one of the most effective exercises. But beyond exercise, the key lies in measurement, because in rehabilitation it's not about doing more, but about doing what truly works. So I'll leave you with a question. Are you sure that the exercises you prescribe are actually making a real difference? If you don't measure, it's easy to get it wrong. That's why, if you want to improve your results, find out how to integrate electromyography into your practice to validate muscle activation and adjust treatment with precision.